There are psychological territories that destroy from within, places your mind can go where healing becomes impossible and growth turns into self-destruction. Carl Jung, the founder of analytical psychology, identified 7 specific mental states that trap people in cycles of suffering. These are not temporary bad moods or rough patches. They are psychological environments where the human spirit slowly dies, and Jung warned that once you are fully trapped in them, escape becomes nearly impossible. If you recognize yourself in any of these 7 places, this video could save you years of unnecessary pain. Your mental health depends on understanding these danger zones. Jung spent decades studying human behavior and discovered that certain psychological spaces act like quicksand for the soul. People who enter these places often stay trapped for years, sometimes their entire lives. But here is what makes this knowledge powerful. Jung also discovered the exact way to escape each trap. By the end of this video, you will know not only what to avoid, but how to break free if you are already stuck. First dangerous place, the cave of self-deception. Jung called it making the unconscious conscious. But most people live in complete self-deception. This cave is where you refuse to see your own flaws, mistakes, and dark impulses. You blame everyone else for your problems while pretending you are perfect. People trapped here create the same disasters over and over. They lose relationships, fail at goals, and wonder why bad things keep happening to them. The truth is simple: you cannot fix what you will not face. You keep dating the same type of person and wondering why relationships fail. You get passed over for promotions and blame office politics. You lose friendships and tell yourself people are just jealous. But what if the common factor in all these situations is you? What if your controlling behavior, your jealousy, or your constant need for attention is pushing people away? Self-deception feels safe because it protects your ego, but it also keeps you powerless. When you blame others, you give them control over your life. When you lie to yourself, you cannot make real changes. Jung discovered that people in this cave have a shadow, all the parts of themselves they refuse to see. Your shadow contains your anger, your selfishness, your fears, and your secret desires. Pretending these parts do not exist makes them stronger, not weaker. The escape route is brutal honesty. Ask yourself, what if I am part of the problem? Write down your mistakes without making excuses. Look at your patterns of behavior. The shadow you acknowledge becomes your ally. The shadow you ignore becomes your enemy. Second dangerous place. The poison factory of resentment is old pain that has turned toxic. Jung understood that normal pain can heal you, but resentment destroys you from inside. This factory produces one product, poison, that you drink while hoping someone else gets hurt. Everyone who lives here tells the same story. People have wronged me. Life is unfair. I deserve better. They replay their hurt over and over, feeding it like a pet monster, but the monster never attacks the people who hurt them. It only eats the person who feeds it. You were fired from your job years ago, and you still think about it every day. You replay what your boss said, imagine conversations where you finally tell them off, and fantasize about their company failing. But while you are stuck in this mental prison, you have stopped applying for new jobs. Your resentment has paralyzed you completely. This factory runs on a simple fuel, the belief that your pain makes you special. You think suffering gives you the right to stay angry forever, but resentment is not justice. It is a prison where you are both the guard and the prisoner. Jung taught that forgiveness is not about the other person. Forgiveness is about taking your power back. When you forgive, you stop giving your energy to the past. You stop letting old wounds control your future. The escape route requires a hard choice. You must decide, do you want to be right, or do you want to be free? Write down what you resent, then ask, how is holding on to this serving me? Finally, make a conscious choice to release it, not because they deserve it, but because you deserve peace. Third dangerous place. The courthouse of self-condemnation. Guilt says, I made a mistake. Shame says, I am a mistake. Jung saw shame as one of the most dangerous emotions because it attacks your core identity. In this courthouse, you are always the defendant, and the verdict is always guilty. People here appear successful on the outside, but feel worthless on the inside. They work harder than everyone else, but never feel good enough. They apologize for existing. They turn down opportunities because they believe they do not deserve them. You might have an impressive job title and good salary, but you lie awake at night thinking about mistakes you made years ago. When someone compliments your work, you immediately list everything you did wrong. You live in constant fear that people will discover you are a fraud, even though your achievements are real and earned. This courthouse operates on impossible standards. You demand perfection from yourself while showing mercy to everyone else. You replay your failures like a broken record, but forget your successes immediately. Jung knew this place was built in childhood. Maybe your parents criticized you constantly. Maybe you were bullied at school. Maybe religious teachings made you feel inherently sinful. But carrying childhood wounds into adulthood serves no purpose except self-destruction. The escape route starts with treating yourself like you would treat a good friend. When you make a mistake, ask, "What would I tell my friend in this situation?" Practice self-compassion. Your mistakes do not define you. Your past does not determine your worth. You are a human being, not a human doing. If this resonates with you so far, hit that subscribe button. We are about to reveal the 4 remaining places that could be keeping you trapped, and you will not want to miss Jung's most surprising discovery about the human mind. 4th dangerous place, the theater. Of false identity, Jung called it the persona, the mask you wear to fit in with society. But some people never take the mask off. They live their entire lives performing a role instead of being themselves. This theater is where authenticity goes to die. Actors here smile when they want to cry. They agree when they want to argue. They dress, speak, and behave to win approval, not to express truth. Slowly, they forget who they are underneath the costume. You are the nice person who never disagrees with anyone, never says no to extra work, and always puts others first. But inside, you are angry and exhausted. You have no idea what you actually want because you have spent so long trying to please everyone else. Your real opinions, desires, and personality have been buried under layers of people-pleasing. This theater runs on a terrifying lie that your true self is not good enough. You believe people will reject the real you, so you create a fake version that seems more acceptable, but approval for a fake self feels hollow. It is like being loved for a lie. Jung understood that we all need some level of persona to function. In society, the danger comes when the mask becomes your identity, when you can no longer tell the difference between who you are and who you pretend to be. The escape route demands courage. Start small, express one authentic opinion each day. Say no to something you do not want to do. Wear clothes that represent your taste, not what others expect. The goal is not to shock people, but to slowly reclaim your true self. 5th dangerous place, the maze of endless thinking. Your brain is a powerful tool, but Jung warned that it can become a prison. This maze is where people get lost in thoughts about thoughts about thoughts. They analyze everything but understand nothing. They plan everything but do nothing. Prisoners here believe they can think their way out of emotional problems. They replay conversations, overthink decisions, and worry about the future constantly. But all this mental activity creates no real solutions. It just creates more confusion. Jennifer spends hours analyzing why her relationship ended. She makes lists of what went wrong, creates theories about her ex-boyfriend's behavior, and tries to logic her way out of heartbreak. But thinking about pain does not heal pain. It just makes the pain more complex. This maze operates on the illusion of control. You think if you analyze something enough, you can control the outcome. But life is not a math problem. Emotions are not equations. Some things must be felt, not figured out. Jung emphasized the importance of intuition and feeling. He knew that wisdom comes from the heart as much as the head, but people in this maze have disconnected from their emotional intelligence. They live in their heads while their hearts shrivel up. The escape route requires learning to feel again. When you catch yourself overthinking, ask, "What am I feeling right now?" Sit with the emotion instead of analyzing it. Take action based on your gut instinct, not just your logical mind. Trust that you know more than you think you know. Sixth dangerous place. The island of isolation. Jung knew that humans are social creatures. We heal in relationship with others. But this island is where wounded people go to hide from connection. They convince themselves that solitude is strength and that needing others is weakness. Islanders here believe that other people are the problem. They think isolation protects them from betrayal, rejection, and disappointment. But what they are really protecting is their fear of being known. They are terrified that if people see the real them, they will be rejected. Robert moved to a small town after his divorce. He works from home, orders groceries online, and has no friends. He tells himself he is independent and self-sufficient, but Robert is lonely and depressed. He has confused isolation with freedom. This island runs on the myth of self-sufficiency. You believe you can meet all your own needs and that depending on others is dangerous. But humans are not designed to live alone. We need witness, support, and connection to thrive. Jung discovered that we see ourselves clearly only through relationships with others. Other people act like mirrors, showing us who we really are. Without these mirrors, we lose touch with our true selves. The escape route starts with small steps toward connection. Join a club, take a class, or volunteer for a cause you care about. The goal is not to become social overnight, but to slowly rebuild your capacity for relationship. Remember that vulnerability is not weakness. It is the price of authentic connection. Seventh, dangerous place. The Museum of Dead Dreams. Jung called this living in the past. This museum is where people go to worship what used to be instead of creating what could be. They become curators of old pain, displaying their wounds like precious artifacts. Museum visitors here spend their days replaying old conversations, mourning lost opportunities, and wishing they could change the past. They know every detail of their tragic story but have stopped writing new chapters. Maria talks about her failed marriage every day, even though it ended 5 years ago. She keeps photos of her ex-husband, reads their old text messages, and tells anyone who will listen how badly he treated her. Maria has turned her past into her identity. She is no longer a person who was hurt. She is hurt itself. This museum operates on the illusion that the past is more real than the present. You give your energy to what is gone while ignoring what is here. You become a ghost haunting your own life. Jung taught that the past has lessons but no life. You can learn from what happened without living there. Growth requires letting go of what was to make room for what could be. The escape route demands a funeral for your old self. Grieve what you lost, then bury it. Create a ritual to say goodbye to the past. Then ask, what do I want to create now? The present moment is the only place where change is possible. The future is the only direction that matters. To action, these 7 places have claimed countless lives, not physical death but spiritual death, the slow erosion of hope, joy, and possibility. Jung mapped these territories so we could avoid them, but knowledge without action is useless. Look at your life right now. Which of these places feels familiar? Where have you been living? The first step to freedom is honest recognition. You cannot escape a trap you do not acknowledge. Remember, Jung spent his life studying these patterns because he believed in human potential. He knew that awareness is the beginning of transformation. Every moment offers a choice: stay trapped or step into freedom. The path forward is not easy, but it is simple. Face what you have been avoiding. Feel what you have been numbing. Choose what you have been postponing. Your authentic self is waiting for you to come home. Do not wait for tomorrow. Do not wait until you feel ready. The time is now. Your life is now. Step out of these dangerous places and into the light of your own truth.